A cream-toned envelope lay on the kitchen counter, heavy in a way that carried a sense of permanence, like it held something carved into stone. It wasn't an invitation to a wedding, but it bore the same finality. Inside were divorce papers, sharp and unfeeling, tucked under a teacup as though she hoped I'd miss them. When I pulled the pages free, her eyes stayed fixed. No hesitation, no plea. Just silence where our vows once lived. I didn't have to ask why. I already knew. I'd seen him. The shallow bravado, the vacant eyes, hands that had never known real work. A man who lived off charm and the effort of others. The very type I had always tried to keep her safe from. When I brought him up once, she brushed it off, called him just a friend. Her laugh was sharp, dismissive, turning my concern into paranoia, a classic deflection. I let it slide, let her believe I bought the lie. But the night I read his message, late again swing by, everything ended. From that moment on, I wasn't her husband anymore. I was a ghost in my own story. It hadn't started this way. I used to wake early just to make her tea before her teaching job. I built her a shed because she said sunflowers brought summer to her soul. Together, we built more than a house. 2 cars, a home, and a branding firm we grew from the ground up. She charmed clients, I built strategies. By the second year, we were making 6 figures, living a dream we had carved out side by side. But somewhere in the climb, I stopped being her everything. He became the thrill. Chaos wrapped in a grin. A bartender strumming chords, drifting aimlessly. She used to mock men like him. Until one morning she stumbled in at 5 a.m., forgetting the time. No apology. No guilt. Just a shrug. That's when I began following the trail. Each lie a breadcrumb. Each crack a fracture in the glass. The night I saw them together, I didn't storm in. I stood across the street, watching her silhouette move behind his curtains, her body outlined by the light. I didn't shout. I didn't break. I memorized it, went home, and opened a new file on my computer. Departure blueprint. I stopped asking questions. Quietly, I erased my name from our company paperwork, shifted client contracts to my own LLC, and secured Sterling and Vale, our most profitable account, under my control alone. She didn't notice. Too consumed by her midnight rendezvous. I installed monitoring software, traced her keystrokes, read her messages, watched her feed him my routines, our finances, my business plans. He was circling my role, and she promised it would be his. Bold. But she never saw the ground slipping beneath her. 3 months later, I told her I had a client meeting in Boston. She barely looked up from her laptop. Safe travels, she said. I smiled. Boston wasn't where I was going. I booked a penthouse suite in the city, ordered her favorite Chardonnay, reserved a table at the same bistro where I once asked her to marry me. I called it an anniversary surprise. She agreed without hesitation. Guilt makes for the perfect mask. She arrived in crimson, hairpin the way she wore it when she still cared. I let her sit, order, chatter about nothing. I smiled, nodded, even brushed her hand. Then I slid an envelope across the table. She opened it, confused. Not divorce papers, my resignation from our firm. The complete transfer of ownership to me. Contracts airtight, client signed, board sealed. Her name erased from every ledger, every deed. What is this? She whispered, her voice trembling. A goodbye, I said. She gave a shaky laugh. You can't do this. I leaned closer. You already did. Then I handed her the final blow, printed transcripts, her words to him, their plans to edge me out, her calling me a reliable drone. Her hands shook around her glass. I stood, set the house keys on the table. They're yours now, along with the debts. Her eyes shone. Wait. Too late. I walked away. Never looked back. A man trading his past for peace. The next day, he sent me some hollow thread about legal action. I replied with the confidentiality clause he signed when we started the business. Breach meant years of litigation and endless fees. He vanished. Now I live by the shore. A smaller house, fewer possessions, more silence. Sometimes I think of the sunflowers she once loved, the ones that withered when she stopped tending them. That was her first betrayal. Quiet but undeniable. Love doesn't abandon what it claims to cherish.